Hey guys, it's Tammy from FightForYouCoaching.com, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about emotional eating in children and teens. And this is kind of a serious topic to go with my series on emotional eating. We don't ever want to admit that emotional eating exists with children, but it does more often than not. And it's becoming a bigger problem than what it's ever been. Children eat for so many, emotionally eat for so many different reasons, and I'm going to really dig into them with you today. Children these days have it so much harder than when we did growing up. They are under so much peer pressure, under so much pressure from us as parents and from their teachers at school. It's absolutely crazy. So the amount of pressure put on kids makes them reach out for different things to deal with that stress. And not only that, if you look at kids these days, I know growing up, when we were growing up as kids, for most of you other adults out there, when we got in a tiff with the neighborhood kids, we were expected to work it out. And if we didn't, let me tell you, you probably couldn't sit for a little while. These days, kids are, and this is not to offend any other parents that are out there, kids are mean and they're cruel, and parents make excuses for that, and we shouldn't. So then the kids that they're mean and cruel to find other ways to deal with that in any ways they can, and so then they start eating their emotions. So today, as I get further into this, if you guys have some questions, you can drop them below and I'll be happy to answer them afterwards. I'm not really a good multitasker that way of paying attention to who's typing in questions while I'm speaking. And I will also post this on my webpage for you guys to read up or print off and save for future references. So emotional eating can be caused by many factors, as we well know. It can be caused by anger, boredom, change, any kind of change. You move a school, you move anywhere, change of classrooms, just anything with change can upset kids easily. Frustrations, not knowing how to handle any kind of given situation. Resentment and stress. It can also be, believe it or not, emotional eating in children can be caused by happiness. You know, we are the generation or the parents that reward our children with food, and it's not good food. They do great or they're really good, and we reward them with candy. So they relate candy to excitement and doing a good job. Or if they're sad or they're having a down day, we reward them with cookies. So cookies end up equaling comfort for them. And as they grow up to be adults, that's what they associate those kind of foods with. Candy is excitement. Yay, I did a good job. Cookies and those kind of foods are comfort for when they're feeling sad or they're feeling down. Some of the signs of emotional eating that you kind of need to look for in your kids are, guys, and I am going to kind of read off a list. They feel an urgent need to eat versus actually being hungry. You know, they insist that I need to eat now. I need this now. They're wanting a specific food, usually specifically comfort foods, and we all know what those comfort foods are. They're eating larger amounts than normal, and they're going back 2 or 3 times for helpings. They're eating at unusual times of the day. You start to notice that your kids are getting up in the middle of the night and eating, which is completely out of the ordinary for them. They start to gain excessive weight, and there's not a reason for it. They get embarrassed when they eat, or they don't eat in front of you or in front of anybody else, but they sneak food later, and it becomes a big secret. Or hiding used food containers. You know, they'll come up, they'll sneak that food, and they'll hide those used containers in their bedroom underneath their bed. And then when you go to either help clean or clean their bedroom, you find all these empty containers. If you see these signs, it can be as simple as just talking to your child about their feelings and what's going on. Just remember to be gentle and kind. Visiting with your child, like I said, is all it may take to solve the problem. Really watch how you speak to your child, and never tell your child that they are fat, or never degrade them in any kind of way, because all that's going to do is fuel that emotional eating and make it worse for them. As parents, our responsibility is to set good examples. If you suspect emotional eating, here are a few ideas that can maybe help you through that. Make your house a healthy house. Your kids deserve a treat, but not every day. They don't deserve dessert with every meal. I shouldn't say the word deserve. That's a poor choice of words. They shouldn't expect dessert with every meal. They shouldn't expect chips as an after school snack, or, things like that. So just make sure that you keep healthy choices around for them to make as well. Figure out what's triggering those emotions with the kids. When they reach for something, just like it's an automatic thing, ask them why. Ask them why they're feeling this way. Ask them what their emotions are. This is not only in relation to emotional eating, guys. I think too often that we don't ask our kids, just generally ask them, how are you today? What's going on in your life? I'm the parent that probably asks too much, and they tell me, I'm fine, quit asking a lot. But I feel as a parent, it's my job to know what's going on. Inquire about why they're feeling that way. Always, always ask questions. And once you help them figure out, find a different way to satisfy that. Whether it's finding them a new hobby, help them discover something great, go outside, exercise. Find a way for them to deal with those different kind of stressors that they have in their life, other than eating. Because once they start this emotional eating, you guys, it's a hard habit to break, and it carries on into adulthood, and we don't want that. I struggle with emotional eating to this day, and it's a constant struggle for me. It's not something that goes away. So, make sure that you discuss it with your children. Emotional eating can become a serious problem. So at any time that you think it's something that you can't help with, don't hesitate to ask for help. There's a reason that help is out there. It doesn't make you as a failure as a parent, and it sure doesn't make them as a failure as a child. But maybe there's something deeper going on that we don't know about, and that we need to help them find out. It never hurts. We all need a little help sometimes. I hope this kind of opened your guys' eyes to what emotional eating is. And I have a little bit more on my written blog, so please sure to check that out. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks, guys, and have a great afternoon.